charismatic listeners, and welcome to the Flow of an Aquarius podcast, presented by Badstew Productions, and with your host, Panther Forte.
Welcome to the episode. Jesus, I'm starting off wrong. Welcome to episode 6, Numewo Six of the Flow of an Aquarius podcast. And one thing I always say, well, I don't always say, but I started saying I'm teaching y'all, French, my language. But I'm doing it in a different kind of way. So Numewo is Haitian Creole, and Six, the numbers, the way I've been counting it on deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, that's traditional French. So, combine them both, getting y'all a little more fluent out there, helping y'all with the variety. Anyway, how are y'all doing? Y'all doing good? It's been a great week for y'all. It's been a crazy, hectic week for y'all. Y'all ready to just listen and unwind? Jeez, gotta stay strong on that one. Y'all ready to listen and unwind and be strapped into a chaotic ride on this episode? Y'all ready for the flow of an Aquarius? Y'all ready for my flow? That sounded pause. I might take that out. Y'all, I'm already starting off hectic. So once again, I'm gonna do the first half of this episode, take my black ass to work, come back, and hopefully accomplish the second half of the episode tonight, so that way I can edit it tonight. Because I have a busy weekend, and I need to get this to y'all before Sunday morning. So we will see how this goes. And I don't know if y'all can hear some of the background. Hopefully y'all can't. It seems like it's a little quiet right now, but hopefully it stays that way. If not, then for some reason there has been random noise that I've been hearing. I have good hearing, but I've just been hearing random noise, and it's not from within the house. It's from just everything around. It's like, why now are you choosing to be loud? But I'm getting ready to record, so it pushed me back a little more. I took a long shower, but it put me back a little more time than I wanted to start this recording. So, which brings me to, and of course people don't know, the outside world doesn't know that I'm getting ready to record, but it brings me to like this first topic right off the bat. I'm not even gonna have like a lot of small talk. We're just gonna get right into it, because the first thing I had to talk about was based on yesterday. And because before it took me, I'm recording this on Friday. I'm recording this on a Friday because I've been trying to figure out what to talk about in this episode. And I was trying to debate if I wanted to do a midweek episode, which I was not able to do. Working all week, everything has been hectic, and it's been a lot. This next week is going to be a lot as well, but that's why the midweek episode didn't come out. I tried to make up for the last episode being so short, but hey, it is what it is. You get what you get. But yesterday, I got the first topic, and I don't know why it took me so long, because, of course, this is supposed to be the podcast of me being an Aquarius and just how I perceive things and so on and so forth, and just my Aquariusness, my essence. So, first thing I'm going to talk about is how I really don't like people. And when I say that, I know there's going to be some people that's listening to this going to be like, well, he likes me. We're going to take back to the first episode. I think it was the first episode. Don't assume that you're the fucking exception, okay? Because unless I tell you you're the exception, you're fucking not. I can like you for 30 seconds, and then you say something or look some kind of way, or just I can feel your aura from 10 miles away of you assuming, and then I stop liking you for the rest of the day. You had 30 seconds of good time, motherfucker, and then you just ruined it because I felt your exceptional wanting to be-ness, and I had to shut that shit down before it went to your head. So unless I tell you, and there are some exceptions. There are some exceptions. People I do like, and then there are those that turn from, oh yeah, I like you, but you just drop to tolerable, and that's just what it is. I'm like that, you know. It's rare that I like people, because I really don't like people at all. I don't mind helping people, but don't have me help you too much because you will turn into a dislike very fucking quickly. And that goes for the world. If I know you, don't know you, homeless, not homeless, work, not work, you can be building a fucking ladder piece by piece, and I'm like, oh, you know what you're doing is cool. I never seen a ladder built, and I can be like, oh, can I help you by holding the blueprints or reading the blueprints, and kind of letting you know what piece goes where. And you're like, yeah, okay, cool. It's a team effort. But then you start needing me to hand you extra shit and do all this extra shit, and then next thing you know, it turns to me building the ladder, and you got the blueprints. I will sling this shit at you when I'm done. See, that's how shit can change quickly. Let me get back to what I was gonna say. This topic came about yesterday. I went to Dollar General to pick up some totes, and I get in the car, and I'm getting ready to pull off. First of all, I backed into the spot so that way I could pull the fuck off instantly. And before I could even, let me rewind back. I get into the car, right? I'm getting ready to connect my phone for music to the car. In the middle of me doing that, this couple walks out. For number one, they walk out and they get into the car beside me. This is how it all started, because I parked away from everybody because I don't like people. I always do that. I don't like parking by people because I don't like seeing people be close to me unless I'll allow you to be close to me. So I parked away from everybody. It's a big lot. Not too many cars are there. There's a lot of fucking other empty spaces. I parked in the back away from everybody. Why the fuck did you park next to me? Out of all of the spots, you chose to park right next to me in this big ass empty lot. That was number one. So I'm over here like, because before there was no car next to me. So I walk out and I'm just like, who the fuck decided to park next to me out of this space? It's got to be some kind of asshole. Somebody with abandonment issues that decided they wanted to park next to somebody else because they want to feel comfortable. Get the fuck away from me. So I'm connecting my phone to the car for some music. They walk out. They get in the car beside me. I glare at them with annoyance, but take a deep breath, breathe out, inhale, exhale, let it go. Cool. Let it go. It's not that serious, Mike. Get past it. I connected my music. We're good now. Put the car in drive. I get ready to pull out. When I get ready to pull out, they start backing out. I say, you know what? I'm going to let you go first. I sit there, put the car back in park. They start backing out. They back out at an angle, or they back out and turn because they have to turn in order to straighten their car up in order to pull off, of course, right? But as they're backing their car up, since they park right next to me, they stop in front of me. And the passenger door flies open because there's a bug in the car. The woman hops out and stands there. And stands there and points at the car, points inside the car, and wants her husband, boyfriend, whoever, brother, whatever he is, to kill the bug before she gets back in the car. I understand that right there can be valid. People are definitely afraid of shit. I understand. Whatever. Could have been a bee, could have been a wasp, a spider. You're not trying to get fucked up. I get it. But in my mind, I'm playing music. The car is running. I have the bass up a little bit, but it's loud enough to let people know that I'm in the fucking car. Somebody's in the car, right? If you are out the car and you know there's somebody that started to pull off, that decided to stop and let your ass move and maneuver, can you shut the fucking door to kind of pull back into the spot to get the fuck out the way so that way I can go? That shit right there annoyed me because it's like y'all have no fucking sense of urgency. How y'all know I'm not in a rush to do something? How y'all know I'm not even in a rush? How y'all know I'm not in a hurry? I don't got an emergency. I just got a phone call. You don't know what somebody else has planned or somebody else is doing, and you are in the fucking way. You are in my way, and that irks my nerve. It's just like when people are turning. It's just like when I'm driving behind somebody. I can be driving, I can be in the passenger seat, I can be in the back seat and right behind somebody and they're making a turn or right turn into some place. I understand you have to slow down in order to make that turn. But when people slow all the way down to a fucking stop and then begin to turn, that irks my nerve.
Because hurry the fuck up and turn.
Like, what are you doing? Why are you creaturing right now? Why do you have no sense of urgency? Why are you getting on my nerve? And for some reason, I think people do. In my mind, people are doing that shit on purpose. People are getting on my nerves on purpose. People are trying me on purpose. And for the love of me, I would love to reach through the windshield, pick their car up, throw that shit 8 miles backwards, and keep moving forward. But I just breathe and let it go, which is becoming very, very difficult now. Got me talking through my teeth. Then, not even that. It's also if I'm in a line trying to check out something. It can be anybody else behind them. It can be a line. I can be 10 people in the back. And somebody taking their time at the front register doesn't bother me. But for some reason, when I'm the next person, the person in front, I don't know what the fuck they be doing. But it's like you got to this register and you remember 12 other fucking items that you needed to buy. Why? Can you step out of the line and go get them shits? Instead of being like, oh, hold on real quick. Let me go get a fucking mattress from 3 doors down, come back, and then ring my stuff up. The fuck? Like, what is going on? Like, can you please get the fuck to the side? Because you have no sense of urgency. And then you're going to pay for that shit with a check. Nobody fucking write checks anymore. Okay? Get the fuck out the way. Please. Please, before I throw my items at the back of your neck and hopefully do damage to your cerebral cortex because you're fucking pissing me off on purpose. And it's only me. You're only doing the shit to me. Why are you doing the shit to me? That annoys me. Or you're in the fucking store and somebody has a cart, a shopping cart that they are pushing, and they are pushing that shit slow as fuck in front of you. You have maybe 2 items in your hand. You're trying to get through an aisle, and you got somebody, mainly Grandma Fanny, with the aisle wide hips, pushing that shit in front of you while she's leaned over the cart, and you're just like, Lord, what the fuck? It's gonna take me 3 days to get down to half the aisle. The type of person I am now, I will. I used to be the type of person that would kind of like try to squeeze past or just take my slow steps, look up and be like, hurry the fuck up, please. Now the type of person I am, with my introvert being on 10 and my social anxiety being on 1,000, when there's 3 people in the aisle, I will not go down the aisle. I will hesitate. I will turn back and go down that shit later. But now a situation like that, oh man, you take it too fucking long. I am fin to, you know what I need is not even that serious. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go down the aisle next to it. I'm going to beat you to the end of the aisle and then come back down. And at that point, it's up to me to determine if I want to be petty or not, which I may not be. I may just look for what I need to and move the fuck on. But if I feel like I'm being petty, I know I'm wide, gym wise, like shoulder, back wide. So I may turn sideways like you and walk down the aisle slow as fuck to block you. Just so that way you know how it feels. Sorry, Grandma Fanny. got to be more careful because I stopped giving a fuck as soon as you started blocking me. And I know it's something that you can't help. Actually, no, you can't help it. You just choose not to. Everybody can help learn a sense of urgency. Everybody can help themselves not to get on my fucking nerves. That's possible. It is a thing. You can literally train yourself from a kid, toddler to an adult to not specifically get on my nerves and live with some type of sense of urgency. Because if not, and you just think, that's another thing. I believe the people that do that or that are like that are not self-aware. I could be right. I could be wrong. I believe I'm right. But the people that just do that shit are not self-aware. They're not aware of themselves or others. And that's kind of like what I said last time about how the person who walked through the fucking Lowe's thinking it was Home Depot for 45 fucking minutes. How? You're not aware of yourself. Like, you're not aware of your own space. You're not aware of what's going on around you. And I understand people zone out. I understand that. But a lot of the times, it's not people zoning out. They just don't give a fuck. And if I was to not give a fuck too, then we would be two motherfuckers not giving a fuck. But you would obviously end up giving a fuck because I would let it be known that I don't give a fuck. And I will hold down that shit and stand on that shit like it's business. And then there's the issue that's being caused, right? So my best advice is to just kind of be aware of yourself, be aware of your surroundings, because it can also save your life. Not saying that somebody's going to act stupid. It could also save your life. If you're out and about and you're aware of your surroundings, you're aware of yourself, it can help you from not walking into a fucking street with cars coming and getting hit. It could save you from, not getting struck by lightning during a thunderstorm and you're outside and you're just lollygagging around, blah, 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 blah. You're able to be self-aware and you're like, oh shit, the hair on my arms or the hair on my head is standing up. Let me get the fuck away inside something right now because lightning is about to strike me. That's what that shit means for y'all that don't know. Y'all are in a extreme electrical magnetic field and you're about to get fucking struck. So, things like that, being aware of who you are, yourself, and others. Having a sense of urgency for other people. Just because you're not in a rush and you're not in a hurry, okay, that's fine. Doesn't mean that others don't have other shit going on and you're kind of holding them up. On the road, I'm not saying if somebody's tailgating you that you speed the fuck up. If you're doing the speed limit or something wrong with your car or whatever your issue is, you can do the speed limit. Please, by all means, drop the fucking speed limit. But if you're going to do that, get to a side of the road where you can, a lane to where you can do that. And I'm not the type to speed. I don't speed. I do the speed limit. I do 5 over. I always do 5 over. Sometimes 10, depending, but 5 over, right? That's my standard, 5 over the speed limit. So, with that being said, there are people who have been driving for a while and thought the fast lane was the right lane and the slow lane was the left lane. Where did you learn to drive? I understand driver's ed is not in schools anymore. I wish they would brought that back for people now that are coming up and learning to drive, because I definitely took driver's ed. It was still around when I was in school. Damn, I think y'all know how old I am. I think y'all know. Because I was going to say, I'm telling my age right now. Because I learned how to write in cursive. That was a thing. We knew what cursive and manuscript is or was. I don't even know if they're still a thing. But learn how to sign signatures, all of that shit. But the knowledge of you thinking the left lane is the slow lane means that you watched so many people ride your ass and you did not know why. There was no kind of inclination of thought of why is everyone speeding and honking at me? Like, you just, no. It's being aware. It's being aware. This is going to conclude the first half of the episode, and I'm going to come back with more because I have to get my black ass to work. I got to leave this business work and go to other work and then come back and do business work. Fun, fun, fun. You know, I think some episodes I'm gonna wait until I get back. I'm gonna record half before I go to work and record the other half when I get back because I come with more reasons why I don't like fucking people. And I was hoping that I was gonna have an experience that would like turn all that around and be like, oh, you know what? Today, actually, I think somebody, made me realize that I might like people. I might could like people, but no, that's not what it is. It went worse. It went worse. It's the entitlement for me. Damn, I'm dancing around that first episode again. It's the entitlement. It's the entitlement. It's the self, it's the unawareness, the entitlement, the what the fuck is going on in your mindness that I question. I swear on a regular basis, there is at least 7 people on a regular basis that I deal with or run into who are all the type of people that if I walk into a urinal, a movie theater urinal, movie theater bathroom, and a movie theater urinal is wild, but walked into a movie theater bathroom and there was like 72 fucking urinals. I go to a random one towards the corner of the wall and just leave that one last one open. The one by the wall, just leave that one open and use the next one to it. I deal with 7 people who are the types that would walk their ass all the way across the entire bathroom and use the urinal next to me. Why are people like that? Why are jackasses jackassing? Why? I have questions and I need answers. Because why is it me? Do I have some type of aura that attracts people? Well, I do. I do have an aura that attracts people. But do I have an aura that just makes it seem like I'm the nicest and best person to talk? That's probably that might be a thing. But why? Like, why me? Why me? Why of all people me? Because I promise, I'm really not that nice. I can be, but I'm not. I stated it earlier. I stated it earlier in this episode. Like, I don't give a fuck. So why do you think I'm the nicest person that you can talk to and tell your personal stuff to, and I don't even know your first name? Why? It's shit like that. And I want to tell y'all the story, but I can't really say it. I can't tell y'all this one because it'll interfere with work. But I'm gonna see if how can I put this? It be people who be wanting a service done, right? And it's okay. I understand that. You call a place, you call a place or go to a place or whatever to inquire about a service that you would like. You have a problem and you need that shit fixed. The place you're communicating with provides a service to fix your problem. I understand that 1,000%. Right. But at the same time, there are limits. There are fucking limits. Once you reach those limits, stop reaching. Once you reach those limits, stop reaching further. Because that's when shit begins to get blurry, those lines, and shit begins to get entitled. And I start questioning, why am I doing this? I really don't have to do this. All I need is a reason, and I'm shutting this shit down. And I am like that. I try not to be, but I am like that. So, see if I can put this story in such a way to where it's not interfering with anything. Motherfucker calls. It's just like that. Motherfucker calls. I answer the phone, say my name, thank you for calling, blah, blah, blah. Mike speaking. How can I help you? They ask if we have something. I say, no, we do not have that here at the moment. But I can find you one. And they say, nope, that's all right. Okay, cool. So now I really want to know, if we had it, would you have booked it? Or, maybe Maybe you would have because they'd probably be closer to you. I don't know. Whatever. You really didn't give a fuck. Cool. This is the part that gets me. I'm thinking that's the end of the conversation. You asked me if I had something? No. He begins to say, he begins to ask me more about that. But in such a way that is, the tone changes to condescending. At the start of condescending. It's kind of curious. I thought he was curious. But he asked about how much it would be if he rented the vehicle, took it to another city. And I told him, because when dealing with mileage is a charge when dealing with rental stuff, typically. So I told him, I said, I can't give you a guesstimate of that because I don't know where you're completely headed to address-wise. And I need to find out if you're going there to drop this off or you're coming back. He said it was coming back. I said, okay, I still can't give you a complete guesstimate on there. But I can tell you it won't be as expensive because you are coming back. Or it may be more expensive, depending, because you're bringing it back here. So he said the most entitled shit to a rental. Dude, it's just the way he said it. When I told him, I said, I can't give you that proper answer because I don't know exactly where you're heading. He said, well, I'm heading to this city. I said, okay, I don't have the exact address for you for that, so I can't give you a estimate. And here's another thing. Can't you look that shit up? You can look up where the fuck you gotta go. You can Google, sir, that's your job to do, not my fucking job. That's not my job to look up your fucking address and where you're going and tell you how many miles it is. That shit right there is what happened. So when I tell him, I said, yeah, I don't have the exact information on how far it's going. He says, well, don't you have a computer right there in front of you? And just paused. The amount of, who the fuck you talking to? Just entered my mind. That, and yes, I do have a computer in front of me, but don't you have a phone in your hand that has the internet, obviously, and you can check it? Even if it's a fucking house phone, you better call that. You better call around, find the fuck out. You better get on fucking MapQuest or some shit. That shit right there, like that's the entire. And then I got quiet because I was trying to control my frustration because of what I wanted to say and I couldn't. So then he gets quiet and he, asks if I'm still here. I say, yes, I'm still here. But now I'm getting upset. I'm getting annoyed. He proceeds to ask me if I figured it out yet. I said, no, because I don't have the address. I said, and I'm not going to put it in to figure it out. And he wouldn't get off the phone. I thought I would get him off the phone. Nope. He asked if it was an issue. He gave me the address and then asked, he asked something. I stopped giving a fuck at that point. But it's the principle in the matter of another reason why I don't like people. That's another reason why I don't like people. It's just shit like that. Like, why am I doing, you asked me about a service, right? Now you're reaching because we don't provide that fucking service. We don't provide GPS navigation. That's not what we do. And you're asking me to give you a fucking numerical value, an accurate value, not a ballpark, but an accurate value on some shit. Sir, I need your fucking information, but you don't want to give me your information. So this conversation is over. So that's another reason. And another thing I don't like about people is those who do have a sense of urgency, they have a sense of urgency while not being aware. That's like Black Friday type shit. Like that's what bothers me in a worse way, because now, yeah, you're aware of how urgent your situation is, but you're sacrificing others, kids, and just people who are innocent bystanders. You're sacrificing them for your fucking urgency. That bothers me. So there's moving too fucking slow and not having a sense of urgency for other people, or some people having a sense of urgency for themselves and not understanding that not everyone is in a fucking rush like you are. And that's okay to understand that. And that's okay to not be in a rush like somebody else is. But when you are in a rush, you have, I believe, I would like for someone to understand that when you're in a rush, not everybody is, and you have to maneuver a certain type of fucking way that still should be kind and polite. Because if not, then you end up probably in situations like I just seen, which is a bad accident on a wet road. Because why the fuck are you speeding and the roads are wet and it's raining and you have to turn? You're going to spin out, and you did. So shit like that. But one thing I do like about some people is their strategy when it comes to obtaining things. Like I'm good at reading people, right? I'm good at reading people. I can sit back and I can kind of like see the gears turning in some people's heads and kind of see what they're thinking about and be like that. I have watched people pick things up, put things down, go to a register, get ready to cash out, and then say, okay, hold on. Go back to that same item, pick it up, and now they're cashing out with it. I've seen people do that shit. That annoys me, but it is what it is. Because my thing is, when it comes to me purchasing things, I'm very strategic. When it comes to me obtaining things, I'm very strategic in general. For the most part, I try to be strategic. So if I'm purchasing something, I've typically have thought about it for 3 days, depending on the price. Speaking of that, that's another thing. Everything, and I'm gonna get back to that purchasing shit. Everything to me has a set price. I don't care what it is. Everything has a set price. If I go to a store and that price is higher than my set price, I'm not getting it. If I really, really need it, I might just take that hit and be like, you know what, man, it is what it is. Y'all got it. But if that's not the case, I'm not getting that shit. Say Subway, right? Subway had their $5 footlongs. Y'all remember that? I remember that $5 footlong. Y'all remember that, right? When they had that $5 footlongs. When I went to Waffle House, not Waffle House, Firehouse. God damn. I was just talking to somebody about Waffle House the other day. But Waffle House. Damn it, Waffle House. Firehouse. Went to Firehouse when Subway was doing that $5 footlongs. And I'm not gonna say nothing bad about Subway or Firehouse. I like Firehouse a little more, just depending. But I like Subway's protein bowls. Anyway, Firehouse had an 8-inch sub for $6 back then, and their footlong was about $9. And I was so accustomed to the $5 song that after I ordered, because I'm like, okay, maybe it's on sale or something like that. You know, I knew it was Firehouse. I knew it wasn't Subway. But okay, you know, all the prices that I seen were combos. So I was okay, you know, I'm not getting a combo. Maybe it'll be cheaper. No, it wasn't. It was very much the same fucking price. And I just was like, you know what, I don't even want this because it's not $5 anyway. Yeah. So I will renege on buying something if it exceeds my purchase ideology. I guess I could say, if it exceeds that, it should stand there. Don't give a fuck. I'll wait, and that's when I usually wait about 3 days. I can't remember where I heard that from. I can't remember where I heard that from. Was it Steve Harvey? I can't remember. But I wait 3 days before I purchase something. I make a big purchase. And the reason why I wait those 3 days is if I'm still thinking about it by that third day, then I know I need it. If I done forgot about that shit, it would be weeks or a month or months later before I remember something in reference to it. If I forgot about it, which means I don't need it. So I leave it at that. But that ideology and method has worked out for me very, very, very well. Because that method has worked out for me very, very well because it controls impulse buying. And that's something that I actually kind of recommend some people doing just to be able to save or control impulse buying or, you know, kind of get away from being a spendthrift is to, I guess if you want something, make it a big purchase, give it 3 days before you make that purchase. If it's still there or you still feel that inclination, that fiending feel to get it on the third day, go ahead. I would say go ahead and get it. If you see something, and this is another thing, this is why I have a bad habit of doing this shit. If you see something and you want it at that moment, sometimes it's good to pull away and not do it. But I do have a bad habit of shopping for food while I'm hungry, and I will get extra shit and a lot of extra shit just because I'm hungry, and I didn't need all the extra shit. I did not. And I like it fresh too, so me getting a lot of shit just because I seen it and I'm hungry and trying to have it fresh and stay fresh, nah, that's not how it works. So yeah, don't go shopping for food when you're hungry already. You pick up shit that you don't really need. So hey, just a little word to the wise, word from the wise. I think this episode is gonna be pretty short as well. I have a few things to get done, so I am going to skedaddle and get that shit done. Oh, real quick before I go, I want to give a big thanks to one of my friends who told me that they listened to my podcast, and they listened to it through their house. Thank you for that. And you also said your son listens to it, which I really feel like I should wash my fucking mouth. Damn it. I feel like I should wash my mouth. But I've heard you speak. You already said that you cuss around. You cuss is profanity, whatever. And they're older, so, And I met their son before, too. And he's cool. He's like me. An Aquarius, likes his space, all of that. So thank you for that, letting me know that. I appreciate you. I appreciate your son. But, yeah, I should probably wash my mouth. Probably should. I'm not washing my mouth. I'm not going to watch it. Not a chance. Yep, that will conclude this episode. I had a lot going on next week, moving and stuff like that, but that will conclude this episode. I should be back strategized and ready for the next episode. And we'll see. I might do the whole go to work for half an episode and come back. I feel like that gives me a lot better insight on to the thoughts of some people. Not all, but some. If I have my first opinion, or first flow. If I have my first flow before I encounter people, and then my second one happens after I encounter people, I'm pretty sure they're going to be slightly different. But we'll see. That might be something I do. Other than that, though, Panther Forte out.